Welcome to another video. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day today. I am as well with another launch. Yeah, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Only a beautiful day, right? Today's another lessenable day. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You got me this right. Morgan got me. Morgan got me. Morgan got me. Morgan got me. All right, but today's a beautiful day. We had another loss. The loss has a lesson in there, which is fantastic. That's all I'm happy about. Yo, you guys see me lose left and right, but guess what? It's all part of the process, right? But great. My greatest moment isn't my greatest moment. It's my greatest defeats. Okay, that's my greatest moment, okay? And other than that, as you guys know, I have a really low win rate. So I have like a 40% win rate. So 60%. That means 60% of the time I'm actually losing, right? I'm not winning. But let's go over down to the straight league. Bro, there's a lesson out of this shit, right? I'm thinking, like, this is a new lesson that I just learned, right? I'll give you guys proof of this lesson, right? Obviously. Now let's lock in. All right, joke aside. There's no jokes about that. I love losing. So that's why, that's why you can see me still be up. Even though I lose so much, I'm still up. How come? Because I love losing, right? I have a low win rate. I have a 40% win rate. So 60% of the time, I'm high likely to lose. Oh my god. Okay, now let's get straight into it. Okay, let's go. So I had a bearish bias here, and the main lesson, quick insight to the future of this video, is time, right? While wondering, well, the SMT was there at the time. You had the right time to purge, right time the SMT. You had the legit high there. You had all the right model one. You had all that stuff there. What do you mean by time? What I mean by time is that the time that the SMT happened, right? Yes, it happened between 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. But you have to look at the correlated pair. They must match, right? So if, let's just say, GU right here, quick little graphic representation, right? If GU puts out the high, right? And let's just say it's 5 a.m., right? And that's GU, right? And let's say this is what do you call it? This is EU, which is the high at 5 a.m., but the 6 a.m. goes higher than the 5 a.m., right? So this is 6 a.m. So they both had SMT. This one purged out the liquidity, but this one didn't, right? This one had SMT. This one SMT happened at 6 a.m., while this one happened at 5 a.m. So during the 6 a.m., when GU met the high, when it super the high, GU came back down around 6 a.m. without pressing out this high. Well, EU went up higher, had a SMT above this high right over here, right? Not above the high. It just went up higher and made SMT, right? So these are two different times. At 6 a.m., GU was here, right? And at 6 a.m., EU just met the SMT with a high. So you can see 5 a.m. SMT with the 6 a.m. 5 a.m. right over here. The 5 a.m. didn't have the right time. So the 6 a.m. went up higher at SMT, while the 5 a.m. of this candle, while the 6 a.m. of this candle stagnated and stayed right over here without making another high. Because if GU is a stronger pair, GU needs to go up higher, right? Then go support this high. But why EU has SMT with it, right? But you can see at 6 a.m. had SMT, yes, right? But GU pushed out the 1 a.m. CRT at 5 a.m., right? Yup, right over here. And at 6 a.m. GU came back down right over here. While at 6 a.m. EU pushed up higher, had SMT, right? So those didn't match the correct timing, which is this timing in my eyes, it depends on the hour, right? On the hour. So every hourly, right? It depends on the hourly, right? It's not every 15 minutes, the 15 minutes after the 15 minutes after SMT has a match. No, it's that specific hour, right? Because if you're a day trader, the hourly difference, you trade your time that you gotta care about the hourly time, right? Every hour. And for a swing trader, probably every daily candle. And for a scalper, probably every 15 minutes, right? But for me, it's the hourly time frame, right? So you can see at 5 a.m. he pushed out the 1 a.m. high, right? 1 a.m. high. And this 1 a.m. high is all over here, right? At 5 a.m. he pushed out the 1 a.m. high. At 6 a.m. it came back down, it stagnated. At 5 a.m. it didn't have any SMT. It did have an SMT, but the SMT got falsely broken. At 6 a.m. went up higher, while at 6 a.m. with this candle, although EU pushed up higher, right? G just stayed right over here, down here, right? So these two, it should have pushed up higher as well, making another higher push while still having the SMT, right? So you can see, I say it stagnated, well, 6 a.m. just went this up higher, right? So it didn't make sense, right? So they both needed to go up higher again, then go lower. In this case, that's why the time wasn't there, right? A quick little future insight, right? I'm gonna show you guys more example of that, but that's why, right? Time wasn't there, right? The right time of the SMT. But I wonder, this is like fucking blue bullshit theory. No, isn't. If you guys go, this is how you know, okay, a SMT could be falsely broken in the, in the short term. This is how SMT could possibly be falsely broken, right? Because SMT every minute, right? Every minute, every hour, it can be SMT. Whereas after SMT every hour, every minute, you gotta know, okay, this SMT is lower, this SMT is higher. Okay, if they don't have the same time, they're usually lower probability, right? If they don't have the same hour, they're usually the lower probability setup. When they have the right time, the same hour, they're the higher probability of an SMT. Now, let's do a top-down analysis to why we're looking for shorts here, and then eventually go from there forward, right? We have a weekly CRT to the downside, weekly another CRT to the downside, weekly ERL to IRL. On a daily time frame, we have a daily premium ERL to IRL, daily SMT CRT to the downside. We had an SMT here. We currently have another SMT. If you go to the daily time frame here, we currently have another SMT. Right, that's gonna be for the next day, not for today. We have a daily SMT CRT. We had as well a daily winning premium of the dispatch daily range. So we want to sell to the discount. Because we had daily CRT to the downside. So we had on daily time frame, lower time frame market narrative and context. We had a 4-hour CRT. This 4-hour CRT has been fucking us up so fucking hard recently, but it makes definitely sense, right? We had that, and what else we had here? We had a 4-hour daily range. So total high, stable low. Premium discount, premium dealers got taps with daily range low. We had a bearish order flow as a loss, slow to tap the higher top and key level. But market had a bearish order flow there. You can see rejection of the high, work with the low. Rejection of the high could possibly have a break per low very soon, right? And these are equal lows. These as well are SMTs here, right? So this SMT will get broken. And we did not sell above the weekly opening price. We're probably gonna have a sell above the weekly price tomorrow, hopefully, right? And you can see right over here, this is our analysis paralysis. We're looking for a New York Russell. How come we're looking for a New York Russell? Simply because of the 1 a.m. having an SMT with the 5 a.m., right? So once there's SMT, I'm no longer looking for a New York continuation. I'm looking for a New York Russell. So I was looking for a New York Russell here, because though if I'm bearish, I want the 1 a.m. to make the high of it down to low. In this case, he did make the high, but there's an SMT here, right? As well as he made the low. So I'm looking for a reversal here, and which intentionally he failed, right? Yes, he failed. But one thing is that there was no setups for us, but we make a mistake. There's a lesson of a trade. Now, if you go to lower time frame to execute this trade, we had SMT executed right over here out of the fucking, wick. TP1, TP2, and last TP is all the way down here and here, which this intentionally already failed before even working, right? So it failed here, right? You can see the Model 1 failed. And our entry was out of the wick. It wasn't out of the body because he wasn't the threshold as well. He just failed right over here. Right? I'm sorry, my mom was here. So my Model 1 failed right over here. The reason it failed was simply because of the, time, right? SMT happened at 6 a.m. while the 6 a.m. of the GU was just staying lower, right? Without pushing at the 5 a.m. high. So he stagnated. Quick little juice drink, right? Bismillah. Right? So now, let's keep on going. Mom here, respect her. Right? Our entry, what would have looked better? Would have the wick better look better, or the threshold look better? All is a loss. It's definitely a lesson here, right? But what was the better entry? The wick right over here, or the threshold. In this case, I would have said 50-50. Why? It's a 13 point, it's a 14.5 pip stop loss, right? Because I had a more, market went up here a little bit, so I had a little bit more, less of a big entry. But eventually, because right over here, threshold entry. What the threshold look entry better, or the wick? In my eyes, what I see, man, I think the wick looks way better. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This candle, to me, in my eyes, it doesn't look like that's a big. It doesn't look that of a big of a candle, right? It's a 14.5 pip. Isn't that big, right? Although the pip, that's a lot of pips there, rather, right? But the wick didn't, in my eyes, it didn't look that big, because when you guys doing these scenarios, you have to go based on the POV. Okay, does the threshold look big or not, right? I think I had some sort of FOMO problem here as well. We cannot be FOMO, because like, okay, I'm just gonna tell the wick looks good. I saw it. I saw the wick did not be, you can see the wick is overtaking the body here. I was like, okay, the body isn't that fat here, right? Isn't that fat juicy? So I was like, okay, isn't fat. I'm not gonna take the threshold. I'm only gonna take the wick. So the wick, I did a wick. Stop us here. Where the threshold look better to enter? Looking back at this, I realistically say 50-50. In this case, in my eyes, I said in my POV, I don't see the body being that big. I mean, the body being that big of a candle to look for a threshold entry, and it makes, if you were to do a big push to the downside, it would have not made sense for the market to go to 50% entry and go back lower, right? As you can see, last time when we had this entry, go back in chart. What was the last entry that we had like this? Let's go back in the chart data. Right, when we had this, it would have not made sense for the market to go up all the way here to the threshold and go lower, because market has a big candle and market did a big push to the downside. In this case, did the market do a big push to the downside? No. And the body wasn't that big, right? In this case, the body is fat as fuck. It's bigger than the, wick out of here. If I go show you guys the example one more time. Or was it at? See, the wick, the body is way bigger than the wick here, right? So this one definitely took out of the threshold. But it would have not made sense for the threshold anyways, because of the you would have not made sense. Look at the big push to the downside here, right? So to me, in this case, I'm good with that wick entry, because because you can see right over here. First of all, you offer the 2 RR to our main take profit, which is right over here. Second of all, it's not that big in my POV, so I took it. But the primary lesson is, time. Right, the SMT must have the same time. Let me go read the rule right here. Let me go read out the rule. Excuse me on that. The rule says right over here. One second. SMT must occur the same hour. The other SMT must also happen at the correct hour. So that means SMT must occur the same hour. The other SMT must also occur at the correct hour. That means, so let's just say we have 2 pairs. One pair pushes out one pair pushes out, while the other one doesn't. So they both must happen at the same hour, right? Time must align before price. When both SMT occurs at the same time within the same hour, time and price align. Otherwise, I do not enter the trade. I think I had a little grammar mistake, right? But when the other pair purchases the SMT, the other pair purchases while this other pair doesn't, but there's an SMT, it must occur the same hour. So since I'm a day trader, it must occur the same hour, right? In this case, this SMT happened at 6 a.m. Well, this one happened at, if you go to the hourly time frame, at 5 a.m. Right? So there's 2 different hours, right? And I'll show you guys examples on the past, right? So now let me show you guys a quick example of our last previous trade that we had a loss on, which time matters as well here. Show you guys a quick example. When this had an SMT with the 810 to had an SMT with this high, yes, keep in mind, this is not my setup, by the way. This is a secondary setup, which we do not take. But a quick little example, I'll give you guys more example as well. This SMT right over here happened, at 810, right? but GU is constantly going up higher. So this high needs to get purged to align with GU's price action, right? Eventually, GU went down with EU, then eventually went up higher, right? After being a drawn liquidity, which our initial entry is supposed to be right over here. Now, if you go to back in chart, show you guys a beautiful, another beautiful example, all the way back here, right? Now, if you go back here to ball replay, if you go all the way here, you see right over here. Now, if you go mark at the 6 a.m. candle, which is right over here, 6 a.m., right? Now, let's mark at the 7 a.m. as well, just for the SMT. Boom. I mean, no. Let's go to GEO now. This is the GEO mark right over here, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. You can see they happen at the same hour. Thus, why if you go back to now, we had an SMT the same hour, happened at the same time. So yeah, for the model 1, confirmation happened, and eventually market rally. Probably wondering, well, yo, where are you getting these examples from? These are the trade I took, by the way. These are the trade I took that I executed, you know. So I know what I'm doing here, right? I have proof backing that up, right? This happened the same hour. Well, this one happened 2 different hours. This one SMT market price had the CRT high at 5 a.m. while this one happened in the 6 a.m. It stagnated, but EU at 6 a.m. pushed out the high. So the time wasn't aligned, so market went up higher. Now, if I give you guys more examples here, right over here, even more example, right? Today, right after that loss, market gave another entry to the downside. And guess what? This one failed as well. Why does model 1 failed? When this happened right over here at this time, if you go back to GU here, EU, when it happened at this time, right? When the market went a new high, right? So you made a new high with this high, right? When you pressure out the 6 a.m. high, or whatever you call the 5 a.m. high, right? Which is the biggest high in this candle, which is supposed to already get purged. During that time, you can see GU didn't do nothing, so it didn't align here, right? They both didn't align. You can see it almost purged it, but didn't, right? So they didn't, since they didn't align, market instantly went up higher, right? And eventually you can see when it went up higher, it never gave us another entry, and the time ran out of the entry position, and eventually that's what happened, right? So yeah, this is the lesson of the day. It's just time. So SMT must occur the same hour. It must occur the same hour that we're trading. If it does not occur the same hour, we're not gonna execute it, right? So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share. Beautiful trade. You can see how it doesn't affect my emotion. Beautiful trade lesson. My greatest moment isn't my greatest moment. It's my greatest defeat. This is where my greatest moment. Because that's where the most quit. People facing now. If you come to my way, you're facing these many losses, you're not gonna stand alive, right? But me, I'm different. I'm not ordinary person. I'm not you guys, right? But yeah, see you guys later. Peace out. Peace. As you guys know, my winners always outweigh my losers. So that's why these losses don't affect me at all. See you guys later. Peace.